What is that one fact you know that always makes people respond, and why the fuck do you know that? If you plan on using a baseball bat as a weapon, put a long sock over the end. When someone tries to grab the bat, you can rip it away with ease and continue with the baseball. Beatdown. Thanks. Edit. Why does a one-word comment have 2 silver? Thanks. Edit to the edit. Now it has 5 silver. Thanks. 15-day later edit. 9. Thanks. Or you could just use a 6-1-2-6 technique like police use with their batons. That you should always use 2 hands to pick up a severed human head. Human heads weigh about as much as a standard-size bowling ball. But unlike bowling balls, they are not perfectly spherical. Therefore, gravity is not evenly distributed across the entire head, so they have a tendency to topple out of your hand if you try to hold them with just one. And nobody wants to be the person who drops a severed head. I'll keep this in mind next time I'm on severed head collection duty. Shouldn't you already know this if you have a duty of picking up severed heads? You wouldn't believe the things they leave out of the training and just expect you to know on your first day of work. Half of all bank robberies take place on a Friday. I'm guessing this has something to do with paychecks being issued on Fridays? Do the banks prepare a bigger supply of cash for those who need it immediately? I used to work at a bank and their cash deliveries were on a Thursday, but it was more getting rid of money. The local businesses that accept cash would make deposits regularly, mostly $20 bills, whereas it's rare for people to cash their paychecks if they have a bank account or withdraw cash at all. The ATM takes care of most cash withdrawals, and cash is just becoming less and less useful. Terminal velocity of an ant is around 3.9 miles per hour. They can't be harmed by falling because they can't fall fast enough to hurt themselves. For the same fall distance, mouse walks away, a human breaks every bone, and a horse splashes. Sorry, but what does a horse splashes mean? It hits the ground so hard it explodes. Like a hefty bag filled with vegetable soup. Alcoholics decompose faster when they die. Source: was a crime scene cleaner. Edit: so I posted this last night while falling asleep, so here is some clarification. When people die, they decompose. But people that are alcoholics will decompose faster than normal, dead people. Why? I have no idea. It's been so long since I was in that line of work, I just remember enough stories and facts to stay interesting. Love y'all. Greater than crime scene cleaner. On what side of the law was this? He's the one that receives the dinner party reservations. A nursing sperm whale's milk comes out in the consistency of cottage cheese so the calf can eat it in the water. I read it as a nursing whale's sperm milk. Fuck me. According to some cannibals, the most delicious part of the human body are the eyeballs. They like licking the monsieur. And #X200B. And #X200B. Edit: I'm not the cannibal, and thanks for the silver. I think we got our winner here. Winner, you. Tiny O is dinner. The first 1080p video on YouTube was the Muppets singing Bohemian Rhapsody. Opossums eat ticks like we eat potato chips. They'll hoover up 5,000 ticks a week and never to get Lyme disease themselves. And they don't get rabies. And our North America's only marsupial. Edit: I misspoke in saying that opossums can't get rabies. It is possible for them, but rare, less common than in other mammals. Thank you everyone for sharing sources and correcting my slip-up. Science is always helping people learn and improve. Also be sure to thank your local opossum gang for snacking on all of those pests that nobody likes. Because their body contains LTNF, lethal toxin neutralizing factor. They're also immune to the effects of multiple venomous snake bites, ricin poisoning, bees, botulinum, etc. Edit: since this comment is getting more popular, I ask you to read up more about opossums. Misinformation breeds ignorance. It is rare for an opossum to have rabies. I'm not saying opossums can't carry rabies, but they are 8 times less likely than wild dogs to carry rabies. They are an animal who can bite you, especially if they have young, and can carry some diseases, so don't think you can pick one up and give it a hug. But if one's living in your garage and isn't hurting anyone, don't let your first instinct be to kill it. Edit. Spelling. Rat poison is actually an anticoagulant mixed with stuff like fiberglass. Because rats are always scraping and squeezing into stuff, they build up these minor injuries. The anticoagulant stops their blood from clotting properly and they internally hemorrhage to death. Since a human being is a lot bigger than a rat, rat poison is much less effective on us. It's so much less effective, they have turned it into an anticoagulant that just so happens to be one of the most popular medications. Commonly prescribed as Coumadin, Gentofen and warfarin, minus the fiberglass probably. Those fake roses that come inside a glass tube at gas stations aren't pretty decorations. They're crack pipes. The fact that I genuinely believed that this was common knowledge is leading me to think I've made some bad decisions in my life. People who never lived in bad neighborhoods never learn because they only sell those in bad neighborhoods. When I was a kid, I used to beg my mom to buy me one. I was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast, and I thought the red ones looked like the enchanted rose. I never understood why she would say no. The best way to clean up blood without leaving a smell is salt. Just put salt in scrub. The salt helps the blood clump into pieces, making it easier to clean too. Edit. OMG. Thank you so much, kind stranger, for popping my gold cherry. Not a serial killer, but you can never be too careful. Edit 2. Many of you ask about taking it off clothes. So, baking soda. Mix 1 part baking soda with 2 parts cold water in a bowl and dab onto the stain using a cloth. Leave for 30 to 40 minutes. Then wipe off all remaining residue. Lemon. To lighten dried-in blood, simply rub half a lemon over the stain and sprinkle some table salt on top. Edit 3. Apparently it depends on the fabric. Carrot. I used that when I did RNA and got tired of purchasing new uniforms. When it's still fresh, pour hydrogen peroxide on it, then blot immediately. Even if it isn't fresh, this works. Hands down best way to get it out. The maximum width the human anus can stretch is 9 to 12 centimeters. Edit. I shall now test this with the gold medal I just received. Not with that attitude. Edit. Holy shit. I left work for 3 days and come back to this? Why can't I be witty on my main account? Roll for anal circumference. If you're going to stab something, always make sure to stab and twist the knife. If you stab without twisting, it will just leave a slit that can easily be mended. If you twist, it leaves a hole that can't be so easily mended. Gonna fuck up some watermelons later. And your knife. Fun fact. In a movie, when you see someone twisting a sword or long knife after stabbing someone, it's to break open the large blood vessels that sit behind the organs. When these arteries are broken open, death occurs very quickly. Snakes got 2 dicks. Edit. Obligated to say, thanks for the silver, kind stranger. It's my first. Edit 2. Well damn, this blew the fuck up. For those asking how I know this, I saw it on TV and it's stuck with me since. Asterisk Colonel. I'm trying to infiltrate the compound, but my 2 dicks keep rubbing together in the sneaking suit and it's getting uncomfortable. Asterisk. A Russian woman had a shit ton of triplets, twins, and quadruplets, with the same man, totaling up to 69 children. As a woman, fuck that. Horses masturbate by flopping their penis against their belly. Edit. Wow. Gold for horse penis facts. I love Reddit. Thanks guys. If you go to a farmer's market or other place with those pony rides where the poor things walk around in a circle all day attached to a rotating wheel, all the male ponies are whacking it like crazy out of sheer burrito, monsieur makes for some awkward family home videos later, I imagine. Here's our Billy, enjoying his first pony ride. Not nearly as much as the pony seems to be. I guess. Whacking it out of sheer boredom. Horses. They're just like us. Honestly. So much of the time I'm not even doing it because I'm horny. Most of the time I'm just bored. A human tooth has 36 calories. I'm hungry clenches jaws of 1,152 calories. In ancient Babylon, people would build their most valuable possessions, fine wine, among others, into the walls of their basement, which in the region was usually a naturally occurring cave. So when the taxman came, he couldn't see it to count it. Humans dodging taxes for over 3,000 years. From the moment we learned to collect taxes, we've been figuring out how to evade them, monsieur. The skin on your lips is the same type of skin as the skin on your asshole. And the inside of your cheek is the same kind of skin as the inside of a vagina. How many people licked the inside of their cheek or bit their lip just now? Edit. Why is this my top comment? It's basically copy-pasta from one of the many times someone talks about the cheek being the same as the inside of a vagina. Then they read the comment while doing it and become madder than the mod of RE to find 1000. Run by a stolen Keble bot as he can't code. Then banned everybody and shut his sub down. Why do that when you can lick the inside of your vagina to find out what the inside of your cheek feels like? Please, this is amateur hour. I bit my asshole to see what my lips feel like. If you want to burn down a building, put potato chips in a toaster with a trail leading from the toaster to other highly flammable things. The potato chips leave no residue and the toaster will pop back up after the chips catch fire, so there's no way to find the start of the fire. Well, I guess if I ever need to commit insurance fraud, you got my back. Tarantulas taste like shrimp. I told this once to a random stranger because they brought up how they didn't like shrimp. They immediately hounded me about how I knew this. No, I never ate a tarantula. I read a Reddit comment that said it once, then regurgitated it as fact, and they challenged me and I looked like a fucking dweeb. Now I know why. It's cause they're both arthropods. You hear me, random Uber passenger I picked up 2 months ago. Arthropods, wood lice, aka roly-polies, or crustaceans like lobsters, but don't taste like lobster. Instead they taste like strong urine. Edit. To everyone asking, I learned this by reading about wood lice, not by experience. The heart, if perfused through the aorta with an appropriate solution, will beat for hours outside of the body. And they have invented some kind of heart-esque arrangement to allow this to happen while they transport the heart to the transplant hospital. I worked on that project. It's really cool. They use an ECMO circuit to oxygenate blood as it goes into the aorta. Perfusing backwards through the aorta pushes the blood through the coronaries, and it drains out the RV to be reused in the circuit. It's not used in people yet, but they've had up to 72 hours with the heart beating in a box outside an animal. They do have a really cool machine that does something similar for lungs and can be used to rescue lungs from DCD patients and recondition them for transplant. Thank you for watching.